Ishtar, reviewed by Pauline Kael. A comedy creator trying to work up fresh gags can lose his equilibrium. This helps explain why so many movie executives would rather deal with hacks than with artists. The hack brazens his way through without knowing or caring that what he's getting is stale. The artist can have so much trouble getting his footing that he sometimes comes out with less than a hack might have. Elaine May is one of the most gently nutty of comedy writer-directors. When her timing is on target, the target itself is faintly blurred, and a double take is built into the viewer's response. When her timing is off, as it is in most of Ishtar, the viewer is left thinking, huh? The movie certainly isn't dislikable. You observe the fine touches, but you feel as if your mind is wilting. Ishtar must have started out to be a casual, tacky, road to comedy about two aging nonentities, singer-songwriters who can only be booked into faraway night spots. Dreaming of show business success, they arrive in the Middle East and get caught up in revolutionary politics they don't know a thing about. This is the kind of musical comedy burlesque of adventure movies that thrives on looking like an imitation B picture, as if the actors had wandered onto sets left over from straight-faced epics. The jokes call for papier-mâché Moorish castles, and spies and moth-eaten burnouses trudging around Palm Springs, with a caterer's wagon just out of frame. But Ishtar has been shot by Vittorio Storaro in a glamorous, romantic style featuring authentic African sunsets, and Isabel Adjani's pure, childlike face peeping out of the Moroccan clothes she's swathed in. All this misplaced visual gloss doesn't compensate for what's missing: comic energy. May comes up with clever script ideas, and the two male stars, Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman, give her lines a shine. They do everything that they can as actors with the jokes that come their way. Her directing is passive, though. The stars get their laughs, but she doesn't build on them, and the laughs die away. The audience sits uncomfortably, waiting for a sustained routine, waiting for the picture to get going. All that happens is another laugh, followed by another dead spot. May doesn't do the obvious, but sometimes she doesn't do anything else either. The road to genre calls for entertainers with a kind of sketch humor savvy that passes for goofing off. The two roles could be handled more easily, and probably more energetically, by, say, Steve Martin and Bill Murray, or the SCTV performers. When Beatty and Hoffman play small-timers, it's a reverse conceit, a form of affectation, and it's a big production. As a bashful hick from Texas who drives a good humor truck in New York and wishes he were attractive to women, Beatty has his larkish moments, but he's playing against the grain. He muffles his personality. He makes himself so much less talented than he is that it's as if he were trying to take himself out of the picture. Hoffman, flexing his muscles and watching himself in the mirror, is effective in the early scenes. He's a preening vulgarian, a singer-piano player in a restaurant who belts out, "That's amore," and considers himself a ladies' man. But just when you think Hoffman is going to skip away with the movie, he appears to decide that he wants to be a sweet simp too. The little muscle man confesses that his show of confidence was a fraud, and he begins to blubber. Hoffman, who can be funny when he's mean and vain and self-centered, is at his worst when he wants you to like him for his weakness and his innocence. These two major stars, with a combined age of 99, are both playing 10-year-olds. They do have a great desert scene with a troupe of unusually handsome, well-groomed vultures. and there are performers who bring some charge with them. Jack Weston, the team's two-bit hustling agent, Rose Eric in a tiny role as Hoffman's mother, and Charles Grodin manages to be fairly amusing because of his bland, whiny lack of charge. He may be the only comedian to have made a career out of complacent affectlessness. Grodin is a soft villain, despicable without being menacing, just right for Elaine May movies. He plays the CIA man whose machinations force the two schlubby heroes to go out into the Sahara with a blind camel, and force the swathed beauty, a revolutionary, to go after them. I admired Grodin, and I admired the camel, but both of them have given this performance before. The plot involves too much exposition, and then doesn't add up. Ishtar is like a comedy act by a depressed person who keeps losing track of what's meant to be going on. The premise of the story is that the people of the mythical Ishtar will accept the two songwriters as the two messengers of God who have come to fulfill an ancient prophecy. But there's no follow-through. The idea seems to have been abandoned. Other ideas aren't abandoned exactly, they just aren't directed with much vitality. An American goes to a camel bazaar and asks for Muhammad. That should be funny, but the joke fizzles out in the amorphous staging. And it's disappointing that there's no snapper in the hoary device of the mysterious map that's supposed to alert the people to rise up, and no comic twist to Ajani's ardent chit-chat about overthrowing the evil, American-supported Emir of Ishtar. An inside joke. When the knavish Emir offers the CIA bozo a drink, it's Pepsi. The movie was financed by Columbia, that is, Coca-Cola. Some scenes look scheduled for a payoff. Ajani gives Beatty necklaces of seeds to mark his path in the desert. She tells him they'll shine in the night. They don't, of course, and he and Hoffman get lost. But when she turns up, he doesn't ask what happened, and the viewer's expectations shrivel and blow away. The plot finally hinges on the Jack Weston characters pressuring the CIA into turning his two clients into stars, but May somehow fails to give the whole burlesque a satiric kick by pointing up that when it comes to cutting a deal, the CIA is no match for even a penny-ante showbiz agent. The movie has unusually clear sound recording, the kind you get from Godard or Robert Altman, but most of the music is a washout, even though some of the batty lyrics almost click. Sinatra's record of "One for My Baby and One More for the Road" is used for an extended sequence, and it gives the film a rhythmic blissfulness that you miss the rest of the time. When Beatty and Hoffman do their deliberately hopeless singing numbers, jerking like mechanical men, phrasing unmusically, going off-key, they don't have the slapstick skills for it. That's when you long for Martin and Murray or some other comics. Beatty and Hoffman are pretty funny near the end, singing "How Big Am I?" but it's too late. When real comics make fools of themselves, you don't feel they're being good sports. You feel that foolishness is built into them, that it's natural to them. That's what you miss with Beatty and Hoffman. Ishtar, a burlesque without a subject, becomes by default a burlesque of their stardom. June 1st, 1987. Thank you for listening.